as the first light of dawn lingers upon the wide, still waters surrounding the chateau. A magnificent illusion slowly emerges, floating between sky and reflection, neither fully of land nor water. Château de Chantilly appears like a dream suspended in time. Located just 50 kilometers north of Paris, Chantilly does not overwhelm like Versailles. Nor does it intimidate like a medieval fortress. Instead, it captivates through refinement, through elegance, through something unmistakably artistic. Listen closely. The gentle sound of water brushes against the massive stone foundations. The lake lies calm, mirror smooth, reflecting the blue sky and the graceful spires of the chateau above. This was once the domain of the princes of Condé, cousins to the king. Men whose wealth and influence were so immense that even the throne regarded them with caution. Yet Chantilly is far more than stone and mortar. It is a dream shaped by an intense devotion to art, and by strange, haunting obsessions with legacy, perfection, and the afterlife. Breathe in the fresh air of the Chantilly forest. Prepare to enter a story that is at once breathtaking and tragic. Before stepping into the chateau itself, we must pause before a structure just as extraordinary. The Grandes Écuries, the great stables. You heard correctly. This is not merely a stable. It is the largest and most beautiful horse stable in Europe. A building that resembles a palace fit for kings rather than animals. Constructed in the 18th century by Prince Louis-Henri de Bourbon, the stables were born from an unusual belief. The prince was convinced that after death, he would be reincarnated as a horse. And so, he built his future home. Step beneath the soaring white stone arches. The vast interior once housed up to 240 horses and 500 hunting dogs. The floors gleam with cleanliness. The ceilings are adorned with sculpted reliefs celebrating the hunt. Rare Arabian and Spanish horses were cared for like royalty themselves, living in luxury beyond the imagination of ordinary people of the time. Here, horses were not transportation. They were spirit. They were freedom. They were beauty in motion. Now cross the bridge into the chateau proper. We enter the world of Henri d'Orléans, Duke of Aumale, the final heir of Chantilly. He was among the greatest art collectors of the 19th century. Look at the walls of the Musée Condé. Paintings cover them from floor to ceiling. Masterpieces by Raphael, Botticelli, Poussin, Delacroix, and many more. Displayed in dense 19th century fashion, the collection feels overwhelming, almost obsessive. And it was meant to be. In his will, the Duke of Aumale imposed a strict condition. Not a single artwork may ever leave Chantilly. And their arrangement must never be altered. What you see today is exactly what his eyes beheld over a century ago. Time has been frozen by devotion. Step softly into the library, the Cabinet des Livres. The air is thick with the scent of old paper, leather bindings, and candle wax. More than 60,000 books rest here, including one incomparable treasure. Les Traces Riches Hers du Duc de Berry. The most beautiful illuminated manuscript of the medieval world. Here, time seems to dissolve. Only knowledge remains. Only memory. But Chantilly is not a place of quiet beauty alone. It also holds the echo of one of the most dramatic tragedies in French history. The story of François Vatel. April, 1671. The Prince of Condé, desperate to regain favor with the Sun King Louis XIV, organizes a lavish celebration at Chantilly. 3 days, 3 nights, over 3,000 guests. Every detail must be perfect. The burden falls upon Vatel, the chateau's master of ceremonies. A man of relentless precision and uncompromising honor. He is responsible for everything. The meals, the fireworks, the lodging, the rhythm of the festivities. Vatel believes that reputation is worth more than life itself. Then comes Friday, the fish banquet. Vatel orders fresh fish from every nearby port. But at dawn, only 2 small baskets arrive. The sea is rough. The deliveries are delayed. To Vatel, this is not an inconvenience. It is disgrace. Exhausted after 12 sleepless nights, consumed by shame and despair, he returns to his chamber, braces his sword against the door, and falls upon it. He dies instantly. And fate, cruel and indifferent, delivers its final irony. Minutes later, the sound of wagons fills the courtyard. The fish has arrived. Tons of it. The feast continues. The king eats well. Fireworks still light the sky. The celebration does not stop. Only a handful of friends mourn the fallen man whose perfection made it possible. Vatel's death becomes a dark note in Chantilly's symphony of splendor. A reminder of the merciless cost of absolute perfection. Today, Vatel is remembered differently. Not only for his tragic end, but for a sweet legacy attributed to his genius. Crème Chantilly. Soft whipped cream, blended with sugar and vanilla, light as clouds. Imagine yourself seated in the Anglo-Chinese garden. A bowl of ripe strawberries before you, crowned with pure white Chantilly cream. The sweetness melts away the sorrow of centuries. Château de Chantilly still stands, reflected in tranquil waters. It proves that beauty can be built from stone, from paint, and from the tragedies of human ambition. Raphael's figures still smile enigmatically from their frames. Horses still thunder across the grounds in grand performances. And somewhere within the wind-filled corridors, the spirit of Vatel may finally rest, knowing that the perfection he chased has been admired by generations. Thank you for joining me on this emotional journey through Chantilly today. I hope you found moments of reflection, beauty, and quiet wonder. If you enjoy these cinematic explorations of history, do not forget to subscribe so we may continue together. Farewell, Chantilly. Until we meet again. In the open pages of history. The end. See you next time.